check it out. I don't know. People are kind of like, what the hell is this weirdo doing?
No, I like it.
Yeah, right on. All right, Roof Trollz. We are back. Brand new podcast set up here in Hobart, Indiana. On Main Street. We are at End Zone. Is it End Zone Bar or is it End Zone Bar and Grill?
It's the End Zone.
The End Zone.
Yeah.
Shit, I've been wrong both ways. All right.
Yes.
The End Zone, right on Main Street in Hobart. I used to be a patron here. A lot of our locals are. This is an awesome spot. And recently, the food is just, it's really, really delicious. And I can't wait to showcase
Well, yeah,
that,
it took a huge leap. I don't think they used to serve food, but before we get too far into that.
Well, they did, but it was like a frozen pizza in the bag.
Yeah.
But, this is my co-host, Angelo, and then we're going to let you guys introduce yourselves. Why don't we start with you?
Absolutely. Doug Granger, Granger's of the Clock Tower, and now the End Zone as of August 5th.
Hell yeah, man. And
one of the best owners around.
And this is my bartender, Sarah. She's our weekend show. She does it all.
The weekend show.
Yeah, she does it all.
I know.
I like where this podcast is going already.
Hey, but I'm here during a week too.
And you are correct.
That's awesome.
Yeah, this is great.
Yeah,
Go on,
so
please.
Granger's, I've never been there. Have never been there. I've heard nothing but good things. I didn't know it existed. I did not know that it was even, and our office was right across from there. Yeah. Were you in there when we occupied the building across the street?
Absolutely. Yeah. We're right there. It's off a side beaten path road there on 3rd Street. Not a lot of traffic in front of the area, but small, 43 people sits, and got a little bar in there, about 12 people. But yeah, we a lot of great food recipes from Mama G, my mom, and South Carolina. A lot of little South Carolina spin on there. But yeah, it's great, man. Get in there, check it out. It's been
they do have some amazing food.
Yeah, since 2019 we started. So
I haven't heard anything bad.
No, yeah.
So everybody hypes up the steak and everything over there. And I'm like,
I heard about Granger's because of, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not sure if it's your children or maybe your girlfriend's children, but they all played baseball together here in Hobart.
His son.
Yeah, my son's a baseball player. Yeah, absolutely.
I learned about you guys through our local Little League.
Oh, awesome.
And so my son either played with your son or at least on one of the divisions here. And everyone talked about Granger. And I saw you guys sponsored one of the teams. So I saw that. And so I was out here like, okay, what the hell is Granger's? Because again, Elijah and I, so I guess we should give some background. Elijah and I both lived in Hobart prior.
Okay.
And so we know a lot of these places. And so we've been to End Zone, we've been to Cagney's, we've been to all the typical, the office used to be here and like all the places that were here, right? But it's all changed since us bringing our business here. And so we started coming here once we found out you guys started serving food. That also was coincidentally when I believe you bought it.
Yeah.
Took over ownership. So if you want to kind of talk about that a little bit, because you have your local spot here and now all of a sudden you own, to me, one of the most popular bars in Northwest
Indiana. Like one
Indiana.
of the staples of Hobart.
Not just Hobart. This is, to me, again, so we're both from outside
Did
here.
you guys frequent here before you owned it? Did you guys know, hang out here and stuff?
Absolutely. I've been a
yes,
patron
they
for
did.
So
5 years.
Mick was the man.
Oh, absolutely.
And I feel like after his passing, sadly, is like when this place kind of took a nosedive for a little bit. It was like falling off the map. But when I used to come here, and full disclosure, I never had a personal relationship or anything. I frequented here a lot. We used to live in the above the hair salon right over there on Center Street. Nice. So I would just walk over here. But Mick was that was the ideal bartender. He was just so cool. He would always tell me, he's like, "Hey man, what are you getting?" And I would give him my order, and then he's like, your money's no good here. You don't pay here. And you just give me drinks and stuff all night. And he was just I never asked for him or anything. He was just a cool dude. I always tipped him well. And I just felt like he brought a lot of, he made this place live, man. He really did. He was a great bartender.
Absolutely. Great. I consider him kind of a father figure.
We still have both of his sons still work here.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool. I was going to ask about that. I know the one used to man the front door, the dark hair.
Yep.
And then Shelby was the bartender up here. I believe that was her name. Sheba. Yes. That was it. Sorry. Yeah. Chopped her name up. Yeah. Sheba. Yeah.
He's always been a role model.
We're actually doing a golf outing
Yeah.
in remembrance of him in July.
Memorial Golf outing. Yeah.
Oh, that's super
wow.
cool.
Yeah.
Great.
You got his attention with
Yeah,
golf.
so
Yeah.
we'll sign up for that for sure. But yeah, let's get back to the beginning, right? So you just talked about your mom a little bit.
Yeah.
At least that's where some of the concept of, I'm assuming, Grangers came from, and then you said South Carolina.
Yeah.
But from what we've talked about off air, you're from Hobart, or at least recently.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So please, man, like, let's just hear about you and how you end up in Hobart from South Carolina. And
I was not from South Carolina, grandparents, but started the farmers market in 2009 right here outside of the End Zone parking lot, and we were doing ribs. We were Marco's Ribs at that point, and just hustling, man, just selling ribs to patrons inside of here, and did that in 2009, 2012. I went on to a different career and worked through that for 10 years. And then 2018, that opportunity popped up at Granger's, and we all went in, the whole family, and we just started hustling. We went through the COVID, we went through the bridge construction, and we're pretty cool to be still open amidst all the businesses that have not made it through the hard times. But End Zone came up August 5th, was a great opportunity for us to lean in and give some of that culture back that Mick had once before. And we did, man. We came in and kept pretty much the entire staff, and
that's really cool.
Built the culture back to where it was back in the day, and exciting for us, exciting for the staff. You know, everybody goes through their growing pains and their learning and adjustments with new ownership. But man, this place has been nothing but great. We've had the opportunity to grow it and expand. More changes coming, but to grow this place, I'm a numbers guy. 50.69% since we've taken over, so not even a year. So,
how late do you guys keep the kitchen and shit open now?
We're about 9, 10. We're trying to push a little bit later. We're trying to get 7 a.m. Get a little breakfast crowd going in, and then trying to keep at 9 and 10 o'clock.
It's such a game changer to have that, because like that was the one thing that really lacked here, and that's why like at the time Main Street was getting a lot of business, because that was the only thing they really
That's
had.
what it was. I said the office.
They would stay up late. Well, you were thinking of Hammond. Well, they would stay up later over there, stay open later somehow. I don't know how they did that either, but because they stay open till like 3. Everybody was closing. Last call's like 1:30. Everywhere else 1:15, and they were at 3 o'clock, 3:30. But they serve food there, so like that was like. People would go there at least to eat something. I mean, God only knows the condition that kitchen was in, but, when you've had a few drinks, it is what it is. We're all eating it anyway, but you guys serve quality food is what I'm saying. So, like, that's a huge, huge selling point. So, like, are you guys watching, is it drinks that are uptick, or is it, like, the food playing a huge contribution into that? Like,
we do keep making changes because we want to know, like, what you guys
you got to find out what
you
works.
Prefer. Like, what is... It's coming from like Granger's, which is a family restaurant, right? And then we're trying to go into bar food, right?
Yeah.
So we know like wings are going to sell, Italian beefs are going to sell. But what else? Like, what would you guys prefer to see on a bar menu? You know what I mean?
I'm being honest. The only thing we've talked about, which we talked about the other day actually, is the pierogi thing. I know you guys have them there and you're kind of trying to keep it separate, which I think is smart from a business standpoint. I think your guys' menu is damn near, I guess I don't want to say flawless. I don't want to hype you up too much.
pierogies here.
The pierogies are the shit. They were so good. We had a whole conversation about this. Like, this is not about this. We were just talking about the food.
Yes.
But I love your guys' menu. I don't think it's too big. I don't think it's too small. Again, I think you're still going to obviously ebb and flow with what stays, what goes, because you got to just see what's actually sells, what's worth keeping. But I literally love bar food. Like, it is shameless. And you can ask him, like, if I can eat lunch.
we know you pretty much. Angelo is here 4 or 5 days a week. Like, we know. We know. Yeah, he's always here.
Love that.
I love wings. I love a burger. And I think if you can find somewhere that does it right, that's the thing is where I think and I do want to ask you about the Grangers and how you got it kind of into food, right? You have to have a passion for food. And so.
It's Mama G.
Yeah. Well, so let's just segue there before we talk about menus and all that. Like, that's really what I want to know. And I want, like, for you to be able to talk about, how did you go from, and you didn't allude to what your career was prior, but how do you go from being like, hey, I'm assuming you love your mom, Mama G, you keep saying. So, like, how did you be like, hey, I'm going to take what you've inspired in me. And again, you have to have a passion for it. You said you did ribs. So again, there's something there. like, I'm going to open up a restaurant. Because every guy, I think, always says, there's always guys want to do podcasts. They want to own a bar, right? There's these things, but you're doing it.
Yeah.
So, let's get to that story.
Yeah. Went into construction management. I was a project manager for University of Chicago for about 4 years. Went into ADT, leading people, leading companies, leading things like that. But the bar has always been my passion. Started at a young age. And, I watched the transaction at Purdue. At the bar's called Brothers at Purdue University. It's a franchise bar. I was with a bunch of buddies, and I watched the transaction of the cash to the product. I was like, man, you guys are killing it. You guys are making a killing somehow. And since then, I kind of like wanted to get into that. And from the farmer's market, from the food quality side of the food, once again, that's all the family's recipes. I learned it and has followed the passion of customer service and providing top notch. I guess when you're owner, everything changes. Like you have to put everything in it, everything you got into it. Passion.
Yeah, everyone's looking to you for the answer.
So,
it's like,
So
what do we do?
It's all passion, and it's being in an industry in general, customer service. I think that is where I excel as people. I think people is my go-to. That's what I do. I'm good with it, and building relationships, and just moving from that into the industry. There was never supposed to be a bar at Granger's. Sitting down with the family, and we got to fit a bar in here, and it's got to be at least 10 seats.
That's awesome.
We laid it out in blue tape all over the hardwood floor, and it worked. And it's very cool, man. It's that saved us. That little bar over there saved us to keep us afloat. But yeah, I think from there, just being passionate and working with family. At times it could get difficult, but at times it's real fun. You get to spend every day with them.
So are you from Hobart originally?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's the passion of putting everything into Hobart.
Yep.
So then what was that like starting up a business in Hobart? Because we've ran into some troubles, and some hardships on our own of trying to establish ourselves in Hobart, because we're outsiders. So like we're not from Hobart. So in a sense, Hobart kind of looks at us as like, oh, well, like, what's your business here? Like, why do you want to be here? Like, I love Hobart. Hobart was the home of my first home was in Hobart, that I owned was in Hobart, over on Coral Drive, on that other side over there. Yeah.
Coral Drive.
So like that was where my first home was at. So like I have like a sentimental attachment. Plus my daughter was born at St. Mary's. So like I'm like right here, but it was kind of like a little bit of a hardship for us in the beginning, like establishing our business. We bought the old Ginter Realty building.
Yep. I
I don't think a lot of people were happy about that. And then when we've tried to put up some types of branding and stuff like that, we've had a lot of pushback. And did you guys experience any of that? Like, I love Hobart now. Like, we're good and rolling, but like, did you guys experience any of that stuff?
Yeah, of course. I think going through any kind of even new leadership through the city, going through any of that, the transition period is a little tough. The historical board, back in the day, they give you still, they'll give you some problems here and there, but even just getting an awning up over there, it was a pain in the butt going through the city. But with the leadership that's now in place, they want to grow this city. They want to expand this city. I'm bought into it. I'm bought into the ideal of it. I'm bought into the downtown area and what's going on with it. The lakefront, it's amazing. It really is a lot of opportunity. You guys coming in, a lot of other companies coming in, a lot of new companies coming in next door. I mean, competition's healthy. I think it's just going to expand the area. Once we work on the parking, I think.
That's man, parking's so bad. We had Huddleston on the podcast, do a brief one. We're gonna do a full one with him soon, and we had Tom McDermott.
Nice.
On as well. And actually, last night I listened to Huddleston and McDermott's podcast they did together, and they talk about the new. It's from a couple months ago. I don't know if you heard this one, if you listened to it or not, but they discussed the new Civic Center, our convention center they're trying to build out.
Yeah, the Genesis Center.
Yeah, it's like a huge thing.
Yeah.
And actually, Huddleston's going to be on his podcast tomorrow again.
Nice.
It's like a follow-up episode almost, so like that'll be cool to watch and to listen to that. I like to follow along with it too, but that's like a big thing. Like
we want it here in Hobart.
So does Huddleston.
It's a goal.
So he wants it too, but he just doesn't want, like the rest of them, they don't want to it fall on the taxpayers. Like how do you get a $300 million building in here without it falling on the taxpayers.
Yeah, I love this plan. I love the people that
I feel
come and
like
stay the whole
Hobart
time.
would come together to be like, how can we figure this out?
Yeah.
When I moved to Hobart, it was a culture shock for me. I'm from Hammond, and this is where like everyone knows everybody. I started bartending, and I'm like, they did not want to know my name. They're like, oh, you're not from here. They didn't want to know my name, but it takes a lot of networking, being true to yourself, being true to who you are. And these Hobart people, they stick together, man.
That's a
Oh no, 100%.
Yeah.
They definitely do.
100%. Yeah,
So if they want something here, they're gonna figure out a way to get it here.
Yeah, I had a run in already with a couple locals that of higher ups there on complete mistake. Casual conversation. I can talk about it now. Like Hobart Happenings Facebook, one of the most live, action-packed Facebook groups ever out there. If you could join that group and you want to laugh, go ahead and join them. But I was in a comment forum. I'm not joking with you guys. It was a comment, not a post. Someone said something about Illinois people chasing something. I'm from Illinois. And they're like, oh, they're out here chasing this, and they flood our parks, and they're constantly, they take up all the parking and stuff. And I said, listen, guys, I'm from Illinois. I'm like, no one is racing to Hobart for the weekend. Like, I'm sorry, but like, they're just not. I grew up in Illinois. I had no idea what in the hell Hobart was until he moved here, like well into my 20s. Like, I didn't even know it existed. And I was like, believe me, I was like, you guys got, it's mediocre pizza. And I was like, and not the greatest bar scene. And literally, one of the politicians here, I'm not going to mention him by name, in Hobart, still sitting in his position, screenshotted that comment and tried to blacklist Roman's Roofing off of that comment. Like, literally went on a whole rant for it. And at first, it swayed in his favor. About 3 days of people just like really ripping me a new asshole. But then it started to be like, well, hold on a second. This is kind of petty. Like, are we really blacklisting his business because he doesn't think the pizza's good here? Which, full disclosure, Rady Magoo's was awesome. But it is what it is.
Good, but you can't, you can't mess with the Chicago style pizza.
No, I'm just saying in general, they just like they just a disagreement in it. Literally, like, they were trying to say don't use Roman's Roofing like on a Facebook from a politician, and I'm like, oh my gosh, dude.
It got pretty crazy, and we were like, dude, you got to just stop. Like, we're not afraid of like confrontation or having an opinion. I think everyone should have an opinion. You should be able to say what you want, right? But it got to literally the point where we were like, no, dude, you have to like remove yourself. You have to stop, because like, it was getting crazy with this person. And I'm not even trying to defend either side of it. It got too obnoxious. Yeah.
But once it started to sway in our favor, then it got taken down and stuff. But I got blacklisted out of there.
It was
I can't even get back in that group.
It was a crazy.
But it was really eye opening, because it's like, I am from out of town. I get it, and I understand that like resentment, to put that force field up. But again, I've been in Northwest Indiana for almost 10 years now. And my first home was in Hobart. My daughter was born in Hobart. I lived in an apartment in Hobart, gave tons of money to these bars in Hobart. I was, in my 20s in Hobart. So
you're like, what do I got to do?
Yeah. Aside from going to school here, I pretty much was from, I'm Hobart now. Like, I have a lot of time invested, but they see different.
Social media advertising, that's a big platform for us. But, it's got its negative side too. It does. It really does. I mean, people get so much involved on the attention of social media. They get involved on the intention of the getting attention. So,
yeah.
But we utilize social media for our marketing, our ads, and Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, whatever.
But you guys are doing something that I think is refreshing, right? So, you've talked a little bit off here of like some of the plans you have, and like we don't have to talk about that on here, but like you're trying to take something that, and I'll just say for lack of better, something that was already good, and you're not necessarily trying to change it. You're just trying to keep the legacy going. And I think that's what a lot of people
make it better.
Don't always. I'm not disagreeing with that, right? But you don't ever want to tarnish someone else's path or like what they put into it, and you're making it your own. But I love that you guys had kept the name, and I don't know if that was part of the agreement, things like that. But you're taking what you've done, right, that's had success. Because, again, you talked about having especially food and beverage during COVID. That didn't last, especially for a new company. So the fact that, and again, for people that are listening, right, is, hey, we're talking about some of the negative or maybe controversial stuff about like a small town. But that's a clear example of how great a small town can be. Absolutely. And for you being a hometown boy, where maybe it wasn't great, but it was enough to keep your fucking doors open.
Absolutely.
And I mean, and I will say that's a true and a tried thing that I will attest to from Hobart, because I know a lot of people in Hobart since living here. My son's mother is born and raised in Hobart. I love her family still. Like we have a phenomenal relationship. And that all stemmed from me meeting some chick in Hammond, because that's where we worked at the casino. And, you know, you come to this town and it's like, wow, this ain't small town USA isn't always what people think it is. And what social media portrays it, or TV shows, like, it's lively. There can be a lakefront that has, you know, they have the Festival of the Lakes. Is that what it's called now? Or
in Hammond.
Lakefront Fest, or whatever they do on Thursdays. You know, we've been a part of that a few times. With
He's
Romans.
expanding that too. That's what Huddleston was talking about. And it was like he wants to blow that whole thing up. I'll make it way bigger.
But I want to get back to the shedding of the light of like how good a small town can be for, you know, again, like he said, and you said, you know, got some about our signage, and you guys are doing that. You know, you get some pushback, but it's like, hey, we're trying to do the right thing.
Absolutely.
You know, we chose Hobart. We could have built Romans anywhere.
Yeah.
We chose Hobart because of the location it's at. Like, and for people that don't know, Hobart's like a great spot right in the middle of Northwest Indiana. So everyone knows the region, right? You went to Purdue, like all your buddies and them down there, like, where you from?
That
region. They know what that little area is, right? And Hobart's like smack in the middle of it. Like, it's kind of uncanny that the access you have being in Hobart. I can pretty much get to anywhere in Northwest Indiana. And I mean, from Whiting, Hammond, down to Lowell, Cedar Lake, all the way to Michigan City, LaPorte. LaPorte might be a little too far.
26 miles. Hobart.
Yeah.
Hobart alone is 26 miles
30
across.
minutes.
Same with Hammond. I just listened to the podcast last night. That's why Huddleston talks about it. But like 26 miles. That's a big city.
Well, there's so much real estate. Like, people forget that the mall is actually Hobart. Yeah. So people associate, it sounds bad, but I can't remember the mall. Everyone knows the mall in Maryville, Hobart, but it's Hobart. It's not Maryville, but you think it's Maryville. But that's so from there all the way to here is Hobart real estate.
Yes.
So for the products that they have planned on doing, you know, if it is the Civic Center, and I think it's the same one you guys are talking about, is it the same one that Gary's bidding on as well?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, but it's trying to block everyone from Gary right now.
Yeah.
That's because the casino is the one printing the money over there, and if they get the convention center and it establishes right by the casino, then they build the hotel, and then they really start making money. And it's all coming from the taxpayers are basically funding them to print money out of a casino.
Yeah.
And
so,
because
like,
the regulations,
casino is like real heavy onto like, we want it here. Like,
and then that's Hard Rock Casino. Like, it's hard to compete with being small town Hobart, you know?
Yep.
So
it
see where it
is,
goes.
but I feel like our Hobart people come together and be like, you know what? No, we want it here. Like,
I think it'll come down to who pays for it. That's the main thing. Like, so, like right now, you're looking $200 to $300 million for that building. Like, we know that's established. But like, who picks up that tab? Is it going to be shared by Lake County tax holders, or is it going to be like, hey, we're doing this in Hobart? Hobart taxpayers pay for that, because that was the point that Huddleston was bringing up when he was on McDermott's podcast. Is like that. Yeah, like, we could get it, but at what cost? Because if it falls on just Hobart residents, how is that fair? Because, and I agree, it's a Lake County convention center. So, like, shouldn't all of Lake County be responsible? But then you got to run into, like, if it is all responsible, does that mean all taxpayers are responsible?
But that's only one side of it. And you could probably talk on it again. So from our end of it, from being business owners, you're right. There's going to be the upfront financial hardship of, is this going to come out of the taxpayers' dollars of Hobart, Indiana? But then do they reap the benefits of those shows?
It's for all out of towners. That's the main thing.
Correct. The tax
out of towners are paying for all that stuff. So like, but then you got to up. So like Hammond, they just did the food tax and all that stuff. Like so like they just upped that, and so did Maryville. So then does Hobart have to do that so that we increase the price of food and stuff like that? Like
to pay for that type of thing.
To pay for those type of things. But then who's going to use it?
But that's the thing. So if everyone's using it collectively, but the revenue ends up backing Hobart, that's a small price to pay in the interim, knowing that if this establishment does get built here, and it sucks in the interim, everyone's taxes are going to go up. The property taxes probably go up probably a little bit. I don't know if they would take it from that fund, because it's typically for your local municipalities, your fire departments, things like that, schooling. But let's just say they did. They raised it somewhat for that. Yeah, it sucks now. And it's probably not going to be built for 3 or 4 years, however long that takes. But the aftermath of it, if it is successful, how much money is that revenue then going to generate for Hobart? Because that's where, you're right, all of Lake County, people from Illinois, Porter, wherever are going to come to enjoy it. But if there's a percentage of revenue coming to Hobart, yeah, it sucks right now. But in 10 years, that could generate enough money.
And we've
it changes this whole city.
We've seen it. And if you look at Gary, I love going to the Railcats game.
Yeah.
It's not as busy as it should be. The Gary Airport, what happened to that? I mean, is it up? Is it down? The Genesis Center.
It's like FedEx now.
Yeah, the Genesis Center. And then the casino.
They got something going on over there. It ain't FedEx, though.
Anybody in that casino industry, they're doing something right. Because I was there and I lost my ass. About $120 an hour. I was like, man. But what's your beer prices look like? What's your menu prices look like? And who's going to pay for that?
Yeah.
So
so it was $17 for a shot at Don Julio there.
Yeah, insane.
But that's the casino, right?
Yeah.
So I worked at Horseshoe.
Yeah,
we want to just
put it on the table.
Check out some of it here. Yeah.
Everybody, this is.
I don't know what Jim ordered though.
Lori's on.
Hi, Lori.
Hello.
Lori's in a Supernatural shirt.
Lori's been here for like 20 years.
I love
22.
We count every month now.
Count
every month now.
So, yeah, 22 and a half.
Yep, that's actually my order. Thank you.
Yeah, because it was end of December. Yeah.
Yeah. 22 and a half years. Yes.
Good times.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah, but Hobart,
So
it would be a huge shit in Hobart. I would love.
Yeah, I did. Same order though. It's the same order.
Wait, one has
lemon
waffle
pepper
fries,
chicken.
one
Wait.
has tots.
You have tots, Jim? Let's switch this real quick.
The lemon pepper.
And then I have the.
And then one has barbecue, one has hot.
All right, let's switch this.
Yeah.
Did I have hot? Can you give me the hot? Sorry, everyone that's watching or listening. We're winging this today, and I like that.
Okay.
We're tendering it.
We're exactly. We're tendering it.
Yes. These lemon pepper tenders, they were all ordered.
Dude, they're the shit.
Yeah.
Dude.
Look at the size of these waffle fries. You can
And so
get a really good waffle.
so-
And look at this thing.
We ordered the
size of the
tenders because they're just cleaner to eat. Let's be honest with you.
Yeah.
But they're wings. Did anyone? I hope someone ordered wings, and if not, we'll get an order and we'll make sure we get some photos of it before we all leave today.
Absolutely.
But you guys is tender.
Yeah, they definitely.
Lemon pepper chicken tender. Look at this thing.
Okay.
It smells glorious.
Good. Thank you.
Water.
Please, yes, thank you.
So this is what happens when you film things live.
If you could
Yeah.
just give us a picture.
Thank you so much.
Just a picture.
She said, "Just bring a picture." What are you drinking anyway? What was your drink of choice for the podcast?
Oh, man. It's Hennessy.
Oh,
Hennessy and Sprite.
Lemonade.
Hennessy and lemonade. I dig it.
Yeah.
What about
You said
you?
we were going to take a shot, too.
I will
so
take a shot.
I am not going to take a shot.
But,
I'm ready for that whenever you're ready.
Hilarious. What are you having, Doug? What was your drink of choice?
this is a made by Stacy, our bartender. It is a Tito's with soda water and lime.
It's a skinny margarita.
Yeah.
I'm all about that, bro.
Exactly.
I know exactly what that is.
We got some Miller Lite and Coors Light too.
I'm a big fan though of
Alcohol?
booze. But so I'll do a skinny margarita, or maybe that's not a skinny margarita, but tequila. I love a good Blanco tequila with mineral water, soda water, and some lime.
What's your favorite tequila?
Oh, that's a great question. Siete Legua is very good, or Ocho.
Never heard of any of those.
I am telling you,
No one has.
for the
Right,
price,
are these like ones that we could order to
Yeah.
get here? To get
I would have to assume so. I mean, you can get them. So I found Siete Legua and Ocho at I don't think it's a big deal. Like Wise Guys, I can usually find they have such a big selection. But I think some of the other places like locally might have them.
Shout out to Stacy. Thank you.
Thank you, Stacy.
Thank you, Stacy. But that's they're really good tequila for the price point. Like I think it's $30-$40 for the bottle.
Really?
And
So I'm a fan of 21 Seeds.
okay.
They have like a jalapeno cucumber tequila that is like amazing. And it's like $20 or $30 a bottle.
We were here.
Like,
I don't know why that reminded me of this, and I'm sorry not to interrupt you.
You're talking about before your trip to Mexico?
Yep.
We were sitting right here in this
We were
spot,
up here.
oh,
So,
shoot. Be a
the
great experience.
Nope, not for him.
No,
For me,
no.
it was.
Oh no.
So we had to talk it. So we grew up in Illinois. I've been in Indiana since right before high school.
Okay.
And I met my oldest son's mother from working there. Move out here to Hobart, and we were going to Mexico, me and her family. Well, my birthday, it was like the same week of my birthday. So I've known Elijah. We're business partners now, which is phenomenal. But this guy's been like my best friend since I was 13. So like I know him. He stood up at my wedding. Right. So they all come out, and they didn't technically always come out to Indiana. They thought, it's Indiana, Illinois, whatever. We'll leave that drama for another day.
Yeah. Well,
the boys come out. I have to leave for Mexico in the morning with my girlfriend and her family.
Oh.
And I mean, the amount you'll know. I don't know if you will, but like Jaeger bombs. I know you've served them, but like guys are stupid. And there was a point in time when Jaeger bombs was like really stupid for guys. Yeah. And we were like, you remember when we used to take Jaeger bombs? So we just did Jaeger bombs up here, right here in this exact spot. And to
so
tell
you're like, yeah, you remember when we used to take them all the time? Like, we're going to do that tonight. That's exactly, a great idea.
Oh, no, we literally like.
No, that's exactly right.
She was getting mad at me as his ex, and she was like, you got to stop giving him drinks. I'm like, he's got to stop taking him.
Yeah.
And like, we just kept giving him Jaeger bombs.
I'm giving him.
Yeah, he probably had 12 Jaeger bombs.
Yeah, no,
Jaeger
we drank so much that night.
How was the flight?
So that's where I'm getting. So I'm with her family, not even just her mom or her stepmom, her dad, her aunt and uncle. Like it was so bad. I'm throwing up that morning, throwing up on the flight.
Oh boy.
It was so bad. And I'm in like these red Blackhawk like fleece pants. They're like they had been outside because we, again, like Elijah said, we lived in the apartments right across from here. Yeah. And it was just so bad, but that's one of those memories you have. Like you have these core memories. And again, was the trip great? It was. The night was great. The brief moment, but her family still to this day will be like, you know what I remember other than you throwing up were those red fleece pants. And it's
So when's the last time you took a Jaeger bomb? That night?
It was probably, yeah.
Honestly, I've taken a lot of different bombs, of course, because there's so many different like Red Bull drinks now. But no, probably then. I'll be honest with you. Like it was so bad. But I want to get back to all of our side conversation, which that's what makes podcasting fun. You're just having these combos. But is there anything you guys want to kind of like shout out or like air out? Because like I said, we want to post and promote you guys. You're another local business, and that's what we're all about with Roof Trollz.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Roof Trollz. This is such a great idea. Thank you for including Granger's and End Zone and having Sarah in here. And
dude,
this is awesome.
I mean, he told you, I'm not lying. I might have a beer with my lunch, but I seriously love your guys' food. Like, that's awesome. I don't want to dog anyone else. I used to frequent another location here because I love bar food. I just do. And you guys fucking like.
Well, that other location did it with the help. They had really good help and it was a good atmosphere and they were really nice for a little while. And then some other shit happened. So it's not so much nice anymore.
That's also true. But from the food perspective. I liked it. I like burgers. Like I said earlier, I like this type of food.
So before they took over, we would have food. We would have like, we talked them into the old owners. We talked them into Sundays. Like, let's just have, at least for football, like, can we, because we already did like the wings on Monday, but we're like, can we do something on Sunday? When they took over and the kitchen was open 7 days a week, it was like a culture shock. Like people were like, you have food? Oh my gosh, all the time. Like we could order wings 7 days a week. Like I could come in here on a Wednesday and get an Italian beef for like, yes. Like
I can vouch for that, man. Like that was it. Because again, like there's only so many lunch spots here, right? Yeah. And if you're not trying to drive, and not that it's far, but to the other side of Hobart to go to like fast food.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we're downtown. What are my choices? Not too much. Or they open late.
I love seeing you guys in here. You guys are in here a lot, man. Yeah. I appreciate that.
And Mama G is such a perfectionist with everything that comes out of that kitchen.
I want to meet Mama G.
She is. I introduced her yesterday to her new cook.
You got a DP right here.
Sorry, there you go.
You're good.
I introduced her yesterday to. She is the best trainer at. That's her recipes, man.
That's so cool.
Don't deviate from it. Just stay on point with it and.
Yeah, and if she comes in here and she tastes something and doesn't taste like her, she's like, wait a minute, hold on. What are you guys doing? Because
that's so cool.
This isn't the recipe I gave you. Let's fix it.
Yeah. So you guys said you had some events. Let's talk about this golf outing. You guys said you're doing a memorial golf outing.
Yeah,
for
absolutely. Mick, he's a staple, a legend, and we try to keep that memory alive through this golf outing that we're having on July 19th. The Mick Sandelin Memorial outing. So taking on 30 teams, so 120 golfers, and it's filling up pretty quick. So get your spot, $100 a golfer, $400 for the foursome. And that's at Duck Creek on July 19th.
It's $100 a person or $400
$100
team,
a
right?
person, $400 a team. Yeah. And
But you can always catch real good live bands here on a Saturday night for sure.
Yeah.
Like if he doesn't do it Friday and Saturday, he definitely does it Saturday.
yeah,
They're here like 7 to 10.
live music is where it's at. Now, talking about Huddleston, said this is Nashville of the North. And it is. When you got all these local bands coming in and having a place to perform, you got the art theater kicking off big names. But that's what we like to do. We like to have live music. We love to have DJ vibe too. We love to have a sports vibe. So we got a lot of things going on, but it fits throughout the day.
It fits. It does, man.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah.
Our bands are usually from 7 to 10.
Yep.
They're on Fridays and Saturdays. And then we have a DJ come in right at 10. And then he kind of like feeds off of the energy that the band was giving. And
Yeah, he does a great job.
Hell yeah. Well, count us in for the golf. We'll definitely do that.
Yeah, we want to collab in general.
It's like, so back to the golf. Back to the golf.
No, hey,
So
man.
I'm being honest. So I think at so many companies, so many places do golf events and all that. And I think it's, I won't say overlooked because so many people will go in because, hey, it's a day to fuck off, right?
Yeah.
But you can get so much exposure. So what I've come, again, from being in this position now, I've done a few different golf events. And I've met people that were like, oh, hey, actually, I talked to one of your reps. And I'm like, what? And they're like, oh, you're the owner. Like, why are you here, right? And it's like, oh, yeah. You can really market yourself. There's so much branding there. And you get a lot of good publicity because you're helping sponsor something. So I've done events for people that have passed, getting in the situation, or someone that passed unexpectedly, right? And things like that. Or, they're trying to raise money for something. And it's like, oh, hey, man, this company, I don't think people always look at all the positives. They always look at like, oh, they're trying to fuck off, or they want to just have it. You're right. It's a fun day. I get to go drink. I get to hang out with other people that love golfing. But there's the other side of it. I'm donating.
How did you get into golf? Sorry.
How did I get in?
Yes, because I'm from Hammond and I didn't know anything about golf until I came here. And they're like, can you put the golf channel on? And I'm like, people watch this? People do this?
I think it's that's just something that kind of happens with like age and time. I'll say that.
Did you get into it once you moved to Hobart, or was it like while you were still in Hammond?
When I kind of got older, I didn't know. My first golf, I think I lived in a small house apartment in Dyer, actually, that house. You already know what I'm talking about. Just getting older. And talk about Hammond. I mean, you guys have one of the nicer golf courses in our area.
No,
Lost
but
Marsh.
like,
Yeah,
people
Lost
didn't
Marsh.
really talk about it then. You know what I mean? Like, here, our regulars, they're like,
it's all golf. This is a golf town.
Like,
Golf
turn
town.
on the
100%
golf
is.
channel.
We think about you have to think about where you're at though. So I love that we're talking about golf. So yeah, there's Lost Marsh and Hammond, but outside of that, if you come over here, if you think about where you're, again, why we looked at business, there's so much centrally things like right in this area. You have Duck Creek, you have Indian Ridge, you have the other
Supervisors Club, now known as I'm forgetting this.
What was it? Point or what is it?
River Point. Yeah.
River Point. Like those are 3 golf courses that are pretty much in Hobart.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy, right? But and then so if you go all the way as far as where I live in Lakes of the Four Seasons. I live in a community with a golf course. Yeah. And then if you just go farther west, there's Oak Knoll. I think Oak Knoll's still around. There's a lot of golf courses in Northwest Indiana that I just it's funny to talk about, but there's a lot to do here when it comes to golfing. Like there's a lot of golf courses here.
Yeah.
And
circling back on the exposure a golf outing will give you. We're excited, man, to host this memorial golf outing, and the actual cause is yet to be determined on where the money is going to go as far as the benefit side of it, what organization we're donating to. But it's we're reaching out. We're talking to people. We just worked with Fire Buddies. Did a cool event with them, a gala at the Hard Rock Casino. But we're going to reach out to get a good partnership there. But I know the exposure for the business itself, for Granger's and the End Zone in Hobart to host an outing at Duck Creek, which you don't get a lot of outings at Duck Creek anymore. So it's very cool exposure, very good for any business. And you got Roman's Roofing, you got sponsor hole, boom, you're putting right there.
Yeah, yep,
it's right there.
And the Fire Buddies, like that's a amazing cause.
Yeah. We're probably gonna work with Fire Buddies on the outing this year.
That's awesome.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Well, keep us posted with things like that. Like I said, Elijah and I mean, we push community involvement like nobody's business. You know,
that's awesome, man.
We did a backpack drive, which it was good. I won't say it wasn't a success. It's just hard. You realize when you try to give back, it sounds crazy. It's not as easy as people think. So,
no, because people are always looking like, what is your motive? Like, what do you what do you want out of me coming and showing up to get this free stuff? Like, what do I have?
You're right.
Yeah, it's a lot of
it's very sad to say, but
behind the door work, behind the scenes, like to get all the baskets and get everything going. And
but people are always looking for like an ulterior motive, and it's like, no, I'm just genuinely like, I just want to give back to the community, and some people are like, whoa, but wait, like, what do I gotta do?
That's something I was taught at a young age, though, as never hold on to anything, give, you know. And we're good with Hobart football, Hobart baseball, Hobart wrestling, all the youth sports. We donate a lot. We do breast cancer outing, but give, you know, and give to receive is the way I look at it. And it does. It comes back tenfold. We sponsored Hobart baseball. We did a big sponsorship for them, and my son got to be the bat boy at the Railcat Stadium. I was like, that was cool. And then the Hobart Little League, we got the whole team came in last night and had dinner at Granger's, you know. There's about 18 people. That pretty much fills Granger's up, 18 people. But it comes back. So never hold on to it, man. Give as much as you can,
and don't let it ever discourage you either. Like,
no. I'll let if you want to jump. I'll let him speak on that.
The same thing. Yeah. So like we give. Yeah, I donate. Even in my spare, before I even came into this, I truly believed in that anyway. But yeah, we'll give anything away. We give a veterans roof away on 4th of July. For
let us know too.
Veterans Day, we do.
These are things that I would love to get involved in, and we were talking about this a little bit with the fire buddies. Like, I would like to do more with any of that.
Yeah, we should collab and do something for the locals here in Hobart.
Yeah,
we could probably figure out something to do. That we could both throw together.
Yeah, no, like I said, we did a backpack drive last year, which again, there was no alternative motive. It's been a very lively podcast, but just kind of get the back, like we came from that, you know, where our parents needed, you know, maybe go there, or I went to food drives to get, you know, to live, and so we're success stories, which is great. But then how do we then maybe help somebody else? You know, I'm so grateful that my Christmas was given to me because of, you know, the donations of other people, right?
Yes.
And so now we're like, hey, we're in a position now. Even like I said before, we were doing this, you know, the giving trees and all that. Like, we donate to Tri Kappa, which is another Hobart,
very cool,
our foundation. We do. We did 2 veteran roofs last year, and it's not it's not a knock on the CO3. We don't do we don't file that stuff. We just genuinely are like, no, hey, this is just to give back to somebody.
And our buddy runs a hot dog, Ken Dogs.
Shout out Kenny.
Indiana. Yeah, he runs a hot dog place. So every time we do a veteran's roof, we always have him come and just park his truck and just keep it open for 4 hours.
Nice.
We'll pick up the tab. Like, we did it. Last time we did it, we had competitors that were knocking the doors, other contractors. We're like, dude, grab a hot dog. Like, come eat. Like, come chill with us. Like, yeah. Like, we just had one on there. Reliance Construction Restoration from Valparaiso. They just came here on our podcast. They were the first ones on today.
Yeah,
it's like our competitor, you know, like, because
cool.
Our whole thing is collabing. Like,
absolutely,
we'll work together to clean the image up. So then that way, homeowners will respect all of us together on a united front. You know,
absolutely.
Yeah. Let us know. Like,
we're all in for stuff like that.
Yeah. No, we will, man. Like I said, it's awesome that we finally got to meet. Yeah. Like I said, I knew your name from Little League.
Yeah.
And no, man, it's just been awesome. And any other events that you guys want to make sure you guys are shouting out there, I want to make sure you guys get your shameless plug, and don't be shameless about it.
Right
on. Talk about it.
I appreciate that. We got a packed month, man, of live music and
we have karaoke starting tonight.
We got karaoke.
That's tonight.
Wait, is it just now starting? Like, this is like the first, or do you guys do this every week?
No, karaoke starts at 9 on Thursdays, so bring your voices.
If we get
one night
before you do your shameless
that's
plug,
what we do.
I will let you know. I will make a commitment.
No, like,
please,
legitimately, that's what our crew does.
I will make a commitment.
We do it at my house on holidays. I have a karaoke machine. Every time we go out of town for conventions, we always go karaoke together. Like, that's our jam. Sing. Yeah.
I love this.
So I'm going to make a commitment.
Like,
we're going to bring the crew.
Sing
it.
I'll make a commitment. We do a dinner or something. We'll eat, and we'll make sure we bring a good, probably almost everybody, because I'm telling you, there's a couple people that can kind of sing, but nobody has an issue just getting up there and giving it their all. So we'll make a commitment. We do a night where Romans comes to the end zone, and we do a karaoke night and just have some fun together.
Yep.
Yes.
Dude, I would love that. And this is my first time hearing myself on a microphone, so I'm not singing. But I love that, man.
You got a good deep voice, man. You should consider it.
Yeah, all right.
I feel like you could sing a song or two. But me, like, I'm better behind the bar. Like, I'm going to make your drinks and make you some good drinks.
And upsell you.
I want to keep everybody here. I start singing, everybody's walking out.
Too funny.
Well, if you guys are hungry and or you're thirsty, you need a beer, come to End Zone on Main Street in Hobart. And if you guys are not listening to the Roof Trollz, I don't even know what you're doing at this point. It was
I'm
awesome.
a follower now.
Yeah, good. It was awesome.
Before we close up, let them get your events out real quick.
Not too crazy. But we got some local bands. We support local music. Give them a stage, give them a platform, man, because it takes a lot to get a big show at the Art Theater, or any other theater. So we just try to support our locals.
I dig it. I love that.
Drive around different bars.
Is there somewhere that someone can find all this information at?
Absolutely, man. Well,
the End Zone.
Yeah. We'll put on all social media, Facebook, Instagram.
And it's the End Zone on all of them?
The End Zone.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, I appreciate
it, man.
We got the golf outing and then the August Fest for Grangers.
Big August Fest event coming up.
The August Fest.
Double stage. We're going to put a park, hopefully get a stage out here and a stage back there. A lot of big bands coming up, working with a production company on that. And then 4th of July is going to be huge for Grangers. We got a band out front there. So,
oh, yeah, man.
A lot of cool stuff coming.
Exciting.
Thank you guys, man. I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Of course.
So End Zone, Roof Trollz, laughs, fun, food, drinks, karaoke. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Thank you guys.